Have you recently seen your cost per click or cost per conversion being declined without making any changes? Maybe the data doesn't just make sense. For example, seeing like 30 conversion on Shopify while seeing 100 on J4 or any other platform. Or maybe your manager asks you to make sure that the tracking is working as expected and there is no duplicate tracking in place. In this video, I'll show you 3 methods on how to make sure that you don't have any duplicate tracking for any channel that you are working with. So let's get ahead and start with option number 1. The first method is checking the data that we have on our platforms. So for example, if we are seeing a significant increase in transactions on Google Analytics 4 or in Facebook Pixel or any other tool, the first thing is always to check what is happening inside the platform itself. In our case, we will use J4 reporting. So I'm currently using the J4 public property, and I'm gonna hit the explore section. Gonna create a new blank report. I will add one dimension only, so transaction ID, hit confirm, and then I'll use transactions. Now let's double click on each one so they are added to the report. So what we are checking right now in J4 within this report is making sure that every transaction ID have only one transaction recorded inside the platform. If we see one of the transactions recorded for 2 times, this means that there is another source that is sending the purchase data to our property. In our case, we can confirm that there is no duplicate tracking incident since each transaction ID is coming in the website for one time only. There is also one additional thing that we can do within this report. So create a new filter, select transaction ID, and for the match type, select does not begin with, and then within the value, we should add the identifier that the current transactions are coming in with. So all the transactions are coming in with 250. So let's add this and hit apply. So in this case, we can see actually that there is other transaction IDs that are coming into with this format, which is unique, and the number of these transactions are not high as the others. This can mean that there is another source that is sending data using this transaction ID for the same transactions that we have in our property. To confirm this, we will mainly take this transaction ID and look it up within our e-commerce system, for example, Shopify or WooCommerce, and then making sure that the original transaction ID that looks something like the normal format is not coming into the property. If that's the case, this will mean that this is not a duplicate tracking incidents, but it will mean that these are a different format of the transaction ID. But if the format exists for one of the existing transactions ID with the normal format, this means that this is a duplicate check. Additionally, we can compare the overall number of transactions that J4 have recorded and compare them with our e-commerce platform. So for example, within this date range over here, this number of transactions was recorded on J4. We can compare the data to our e-commerce platform. So if we are using Shopify, we can go to our transactions report and see if this numbers exactly matches what we have in Shopify, or if it's higher. You can also add the purchase revenue metric over here aside of the transaction, and you can compare that metric as well. The second method is using Google Tag Manager preview mode. So let's preview our Google Tag Manager container by clicking on the preview button over here. Let's go to our website. And then what we'll need to do is perform the event that we suspect that is firing for more than one time. So for my case, it's add to cart event. So let's go to a product page. Let's go back to the preview mode and clear everything from here. And then let's add this item to the cart and see what happens. So if we clicked on the summary icon over here, we can see that there are some add to cart events that are firing for more than one time, and they are Facebook. We can see that it is mentioned here that it is fired for 2 times. And then we have a G4 event, which is also firing for 2 times. What we can do is clicking on the Facebook add to cart tag, and then we will see that it was fired for 1 time on this data layer push and this other data layer push, which confirms that there is a duplicate tracking incident on our website. The third method is checking the network request tab. Within the page that you suspect that you have a duplicate tracking issue with, go to that page and then right click and hit inspect. Click on the network panel over here. And then what you'll need to do is that you will enter the pixel ID that you suspect that it is firing for more than one time for a specific event. So for example, I'm suspecting that the J4 occurred event is being fired for more than one time. So I'll just type collect question mark, as all of the J4 events will always come with this network request. And now let's trigger the event that we suspect that is duplicating. As you can see, we have several pushes on our website. So let's check the first one. This is not the J4 property that I'm looking for, so I'm not gonna check this one. Let's check the other one. This is my main Google Analytics 4 property. So let's scroll down and see the EN parameter, and we can see that it is firing with this hit. Let's check the other one. We can see that the event is being fired now for 2 times. And let's check the other one. This is another event, which is add to wish list. This means that there is no issue with this one. And now we have a third add to cart push. So this means that not only the event is being duplicated from the preview mode, we can see it firing for 3 times within the website itself. This means that that event is being set up or triggered from somewhere else. Additionally, you can use the platform extension itself if available. So for example, Facebook has something called the Facebook Pixel Helper that you can install to your Chrome browser. And if you're using that, you'll see your pixel ID. So I have multiple test pixels installed to my website. And for this one, we can see that there is a yellow flag for the add to cart event. And this is the one that has the issues. So let's click on it and then see what is this error telling us. So it is saying that the Facebook pixel was activated for 2 times on this web page, which can cause errors in your tracking. And this also confirms that there is a tracking issue on this web page or a duplication issue. I don't honestly recommend using the platform pixel helpers, as most of the time they have issues. So I always recommend using the network request. So for example, if you want to check any pixel that you want to see if it has a duplicate tracking or not, just type in the pixel ID over here, and it will show you the pixels network hits, and then you can validate if there is a duplicate tracking incident or not. If you want to know how to troubleshoot or fix these duplicate incidences and prevent your pixels from firing for more than one time when it should, please stay tuned for next week's video, as I'll record another video on how to do that for several methods that could be sending the data to your website. And that's it. If you find this video helpful, I would really appreciate it if you can subscribe to my channel, like and share the video, as this motivates me to create more content. This was Ahmed, and if you have any questions regarding web analytics or any topics that you'd like me to cover, please drop them in the comment section, as I always make sure to get back these comments, and these comments tailor my future content. See you in the next video.